Ebusuya for mama kwa baba channel so hi daily update TV. Send now join my channel so message over like video no share video no subscribe channel no said be video be buy on so be nya bi na so wahwe. An update am dey bremo and say Endra o mampanyi di nsem bi betudwa esan se Endra ye holiday nti no mampanyi di nsem bi breye. Na nsem o de breye ni nyina fa be media for no o many anje ho. Anything or say on the policies and a freedom of media, those kind of media for no or munya fahudi. But almost which you say yes, sir, because on the policy in a muna kind of saying ubi interview near Bonagen norma na ubi yitimbe klusi media near the day on the policy because I am paying for mobile yina mobile terminal. Science on the policy emuna saa normal we nyina asi na what just omo chiremu a nsema omo kekan no ano edin nti we de mom yanko ne yankotie audio na omo de betu dwa no na ekutie ba na ebi hu de na ana mo beti de me pa chiri as.
They will tell you a holiday. What holiday? Most people do not know what it is.
Yeah.
There are some who will tell you Constitutional Day. You go further and ask, what is the Constitutional Day about? And that is where the problem is. They have no idea what it is. And so if we are having to celebrate or commemorate a holiday that people do not know what it is, we are not seeing any form of education out there. Because if you say Constitutional Day, you want to draw attention to the provisions in the Constitution, then it means that you must put in the plan, the effort towards making sure that the Ghanaian knows what the Constitution is about, what the provisions are really. Okay, so we want to see Constitutional Day here. That got to me. I'm like, is this guy serious? Is he really thinking? Is he really sure about the things he's saying? Because under your presidency, you as president, that is when the highest form of media attack happened. Yes, our recorders have been seized, we've been sacked from programs, we've been beaten and all that. But nobody, no leader dared to close down stations. No leader dared to close down media houses for nothing, for no reason at all. It happened under you. So if somebody is talking about media freedom, it shouldn't be President Akufo Addo. So you sit there and think that if I say that, people will be happy, and so let me say it. And you say you're talking about Constitutional Day. No. So you see, nobody is listening to you. You are talking. So that will not achieve anything. So it's just a day, one more day wasted.
Oh, okay.
So until there's a plan,
we must give meaning to the Constitution.
Meaning to the Constitutional Day.
Okay.
Let it be impactful so that the ordinary Ghanaian will actually get to know what the provisions of the Constitution are, if that is the reason for this day to be introduced.
Then can we not as media take on the mantle and do it?
We can. That is why we are here. And we are talking about it.
Okay.
Yes. But
you don't want to hear President Akufo Addo.
No, he's doing nothing about it. You see, until that is done, Senna, it will just be like, okay, it is my government that introduced or established the office of the special prosecutor. But really, when you go into it, what has the office done so far? There's nothing. It is just one of those on paper. President Akufo Addo introduced Constitutional Day. But what really has been the benefits of the Constitutional Day? Nothing. It's just one of those days, those things that will add up to the useless things he has done on paper. But really, the tangibles we can't feel. Do you get it? So, if we don't have a plan, let's cancel it. But if we want, we are deciding as a people that we want to put in effort. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because, Charlie, you go out there. Like, you are not a proper lawyer. You go out there and ask people, Senna, seriously, there are things, somebody can get up and say that because of the church I'm going, I don't want to educate my children. My pastor is preaching against education. And nobody can do anything to me. It's because the person does not know that what he or she is saying or doing is even illegal.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
It's against the constitution in the first place.
Yes. So if we are putting in the efforts to put out such education, then why not? Other than that, it is one of those useless days for us to rest.
That's all. Okay. First of all, you made a comment that we have to respond to immediately. That's why I wanted her to come with us when we went to we met Uncle Kesi.
Yeah, Uncle Kesi.
Even Uncle Kesi acknowledges that you
I'm
are
a lawyer.
Yes. So, no.
Uncle Kesi, oh, Sana, that's a lawyer. You know, I'm lawyer. You made your
Those who have decided not to acknowledge. Don't worry.
I mean, lawyer, I do junior lawyer metepe.
They all acknowledge you properly. All we need is lawyer Chachikata to acknowledge you.
And can once be seen console.
No, but the points Nancy have made, and very valid points. Frankly, I am not a big fan of this holiday because I think that we cannot just set up holidays to say that this holiday is to tell us that we did this. This one is to tell us that we did this. I understand Independence Day. I understand Republic Day. Those are two essential holidays.
No, even Farmers Day is there.
Farmers Day makes sense.
You know.
But this constitution matter, I always think about it. I said, but why? And then the argument that is the longest period of constitutional rule we have had, to me, sometimes sounds some way. But anyway, Bala, what do you think?
Say Constitution Day. From said the Nancy kind. Now, I will be so be our bonting. Said the kind say, and yet a junior year. Now, we say Constitution Day, need some of the holidays we were. Wakrano, you will not listen to Abia and Penny Form Bekasa about that particular day. Say be a Constitution Day, Ghana and Penny Bekasa. So you have to maybe say Obeso TV and also radio and what you know. Now, Bisa say ordinary Ghanaian, and I say in school kwada Akroma. So muko school and you catch me say ene ye must school a Constitution Day. Bisa once akwada go ni muze read Constitution Day. Onimu. And a tour be a sobono would be bumping for would be called a NCC for so abubuano. NCC. Because Sena Bisa say omono education be pa enomoye ediche Ghana for say ebia a Constitution Day into no Constitution Day is what it is about, what this is what it entails. Even say ye ba be assembly elections in Krempo. Bisa say a type of education ben ena NCC for no omoye niam bi omode ne nan nam kra no omoye selective media houses and omode kokoye. And so it tells you say ye chere and crofo Ghana for what that particular holiday no kra na dia se chere no kra de bre kra nim. So and now Ghana man penny kasa about media freedom on this Constitution Day and Nancy Amana clear. Oh, Kroma. Amam yenima ban panifo bebre abako. Ye kra ni fie kra ni hu Rollins amamwo kakra. Ye be hu Akufo de ye hu ajata de ene ye hu Joma amade ne aba be hu me bra ide de millennial colleague ni so de.
Millennial colleague.
So no nkita yi said dem nkita na. Ye nyina with the same scale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, auntie. Bisa ho say Sampany abampany fo abakoi ensendrofo efa hu de yetieti asori udo mu nyina wo hyase de free Rollins dia na baba na bedu ye papa die so a sendrofo fa hu de yetieti aso chen aban bia waba sendrofo ya boy vima ya vim nkrofo pa ni ye gigigi ye nim se bia bako wo ni age obi mic na se ye piana ahye gata mu ni ade ade but we die sena under this particular administration I always
I record the stone throwing that happened around there. Oh, Fadama. But I'll come back. Lawyer, I'll come back to you. Let's go and speak to Dr. David Percy, who's a student of history and politics. Doc, good morning, and I hope you're well.
Good morning, my brother. I'm good. And you?
I'm also doing well. Happy New Year to you.
Many happy returns, my brother.
Well, first, let's start with your own view on what do you think about Constitution Day? Worth it?
Constitution Day?
Yes.
Well, I mean, focusing the minds of citizens on our Constitution is not bad. But I don't think we need a holiday for it.
Focusing the minds of citizens on the Constitution, not bad, but we do not need a holiday for it.
Yeah.
How else? How else do you think we could have done it?
It was completely unnecessary. It was completely unnecessary, but it was part of the. It only makes sense if you consider it as part of the grand strategy of this president, Akufo Addo, to falsify our history, to exclude Nkrumah, and to install his grand uncle in the pantheon of heroes when it's completely undeserving. That's really what it's about.
I see. Falsifying our history.
Yes.
But how does, because if you go back and look at the history of the Fourth Republic, which aspects can you essentially falsify?
Oh, it's not about the Fourth Republic.
Okay.
It has to begin from the beginning and taking a struggle for independence, which was basically constitutionally, legally, it was in a number of stages, right? First, the race, they gave way in a number of steps. But the key steps in terms of state power was to elect Nkrumah as the leader of government business in 1951. After the very first elections that had the universal adult suffrage in the Gold Coast. Right? Then we gained independence from the British, but you still had a situation where the Queen or the King of England was our head of state. This happened in 1957, March. Then in 1960, we became a full republic. And we had a situation where no external person, the sovereign of England was not our head of state. Now, this thing happened through a unique process. There was a combination of an referendum and an election of a president. There was a referendum on whether Ghana should become a republic. And there are two options: yes or no. Right?
Okay.
And it was also in a form of an election.
Okay.
That if no one, right, then Ghana will remain independent, but will retain the Queen as our, or the King of England as our head of state, like happens in Canada and in Australia and in a number of places.
Okay.
Right? Or if we opted for yes, the person who will become president, and he will replace the Queen or the King of England as our head of state. Now, there were two candidates, and I remember this very, very well. I think as a kid, but it was my first consciousness about these matters, because there was yes, which had the CPP,
okay,
and the red cock, okay, and then there was the United Party. I can't remember what symbol it had. I don't know whether it was a tree, an elephant, or something. But and then at some point you also had the pictures of the two candidates representing the two camps. You had Kwame Nkrumah representing the yes camp, and you had Dr. J.B. Dankwa representing the no camp. This referendum was held in April 1960. Okay? And the yes camp won. I don't know whether you know how much, the results of that thing. Do you have any idea about the results of that contestation?
On the Republic Day matter in 1960.
Yeah.
Okay. What I remember is that the yes won.
But you don't know by how much.
No, I have no idea.
So let me bring you up today. The yes candidate got slightly more than 11%. 11%.
The yes candidate, a little over 11%.
Dr. J.B. Dankwa got a little over 11%.
Okay. Is that the no candidate or the yes candidate?
Sorry. The no candidate,
Okay.
Dr. J.B. Dankwa. Pardon me, my brother.
Okay.
I wonder where my thing.
It's a given.
This would have been a monumental thing. I'm sure they would have been feasting throughout the land.
Yeah, it's part of my job.
Good, thank you very much.
Yes.
The no candidate. Maybe my problem was that I should have started with the yes
candidate. Yes.
Okay. The yes candidate got slightly under 89%.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That is led by Osajifo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, if you rounded it up, it will be 89%.
Okay.
And the no candidate got 11%.
Okay.
So this people who have been trying to rewrite our history have been trying to reverse this fact.
Okay.
Now, the more important thing is this. You know that when we became independent on the 6th March of 1957, Nkrumah launched our country as Ghana. Now, the Ghana project was not an event. It was work in progress. Okay?
Okay.
And those who lost that referendum have made it a matter of faith that they should overturn and shred that project.
Okay.
Okay? Now this thing is often overlooked. In fact, regularly overlooked. I wonder how many of our countrymen are really aware of it. A key part of Nkrumah's project was the creation of what was called a detribalized youth. Okay? That he found it key to the progression of self-determination and our realization of our potential as a people. Because we have to contend with our history. Now, I think that you are aware that in this space that we call Ghana, we have about 55 ethnicities. You know that? Okay? I'm sure you also know that collectively the Akan segment makes up just under half of our population, about 45%. Okay? But it's made up of various sections, right? You had Asante, you had Kwapem, you had Fanti, etc., etc., etc. Okay? But if you put them all together, because of the mutual mutuality of the language, that is possible for one group to understand what is said in another because of their closeness, their cousins essentially. They come to 45%, but they are never homogeneous, neither by territory or by history or by relationship. Okay? Now, Nkrumah recognized that to progress, we had to build one nation out of this motley of 55 ethnicities. He himself came from a relatively small ethnic group, the Nzima. You know that?
Yes.
And so, any attempt to go through the route of hegemony could have been a disaster. And so he formed the Committee for Youth Organization. This was a precursor to the Convention People's Party, when he was eventually ejected, or is it pulled out of the UGCC, depending on how you view it. Because after Nkrumah had formed this thing, after it had gained traction, you know that in all ethnic states, the youth are the potent force. You know that?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the Nkrumah's attempt to create a detribalized youth was an existential threat to all the ethnic stock, what we call them tribal formations. I don't know whether you're following my drift.
Yes, I am.
If you were to have a detribalized youth in this place that we call Ghana, then it would be difficult to engineer the kind of conflict that you now have between, say, which one should I choose? Which one is current?
Which is a tribal conflict.
Yes, which one is current? But let's say between Bono and Asante, right? Or between Kusasi and Mamposi.
And I think that's the one that gained some traction towards the close of last year.
Great. Or between Bimoba and another, I can't remember the other one. I don't know whether you are catching my drift.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, it's important to understand this and to know this about our history.
Even the National Media Commission was threatening the NMC with closure. I was so surprised. With the NMC was threatening Onia with closure. I was so surprised. I was shocked. Because that environment has been created where it's all become possible. It's all become possible. Anybody believes that they can do anything and get out with it. You can't even get a finance. You can't even say that people should be held accountable for their